Hello, I met an Ethiopian farmer called Mekonnan. He lives with his family high in the Gurage mountains. He's got a water crisis and asked me if I could help. I said I would and that I'd tell others also. The story starts at the Action Ethiopia project at the bottom of the mountain. A nursery has been planted on the edge of the mountain under this podocarpus tree. It has produced some 250,000 tree seedlings, including these apple trees grown from rootstock. Apples are new to the area and will generate new income for people. I was here in November and walked to meet the nursery workers. It was a Saturday morning, and as we reached the end of the track, we came across this market. People were bartering food. Farmers who lived at the top of the mountain brought potatoes and cabbage and bartered for the false banana, the starchy food known as kocho that is eaten at every meal. It's noisy and exciting. Some people have walked for 3 hours down the mountain to do the Saturday shopping. The produce is packed in bundles, often in false banana or enset leaves, ready for the walk home. You suddenly become aware that most of the people here are women. Many Gurage men leave home in their teenage years to seek work in towns and cities across Ethiopia, returning perhaps once or twice a year. These incredibly tough people face a long walk back up the mountain, so very soon the women start to pack up their goods, load them onto their donkeys and head for home. Baharu, who was born locally and heads up this project in Gurage, said, "Why don't we climb up the mountain?" The track meanders past verdant enset plots. The thick, starchy, fermented kocho comes from the base of the plant and can be stored by burying it underground. Enset does not grow above about 2,500 meters above sea level, so we leave it behind as we climb steeply up a rough track through juniper trees. As we clear the tree line, we're surrounded by giant heather. The view from this part of the mountain is spectacular. This is a small project working in these mountains, but the soil that is eroded from here is finally deposited 100 kilometers away at the top of this picture, causing siltation problems in Lake Zwei. As I reach the top of the mountain, the air is thin, and just as you think you've made it, there's another hill to climb. Surprisingly, when you reach the top, there's no mountain summit, but the terrain is flat and undulating, dramatic evidence of the shearing of the Earth's crust on this part of the Rift Valley. We're soon invited in for coffee. The beans are roasted over an open fire in an immaculate round-thatched hut. We are invited to Mekonnan's house. You can see him here with his wife. Mekonnan is a surprising guy. His farming methods are a decade ahead of his neighbours. He's the first farmer I've ever seen in Ethiopia who has constructed high earth-banked hedges around his fields to keep his livestock in and other animals out. We arrive on St. Mary's Day and many women gather in Mekonnan's special guest room. Each woman has brought kocho bread to share. It's an acquired taste and there seems to be rather a lot of it. I escape outside and talk to Mekonnan's children. This is Delikash, his eldest daughter, who delights in her first selfie. It gets dark very quickly and the temperature drops sharply. We migrate to the warmth of the hut Mekonnan lives in and sit around the fire in the centre. 3/4 of the space is taken by sheep and cattle kept behind the barrier. The conversation quickly turns to farming. Mekonnan tells me of a problem he has with his sheep. I took this picture of his flock, making their way home earlier. He has had deaths because of the parasites they pick up around where they drink water. "Do you collect water for the house from the same place?" I ask. "Yes," he says. "It's a big problem for our community. Even the wild animals come to drink. We have 3 springs that run even when it's dry." They have built a low wall to keep the livestock out, but you can imagine that the many baboons that live on the cliffs make short work of this. They simply lack the resources or knowledge to do anything else. Action Ethiopia has capped springs like the one in this picture elsewhere, and we can build water troughs to benefit livestock. This keeps the animals separate from water used for human consumption. It costs a little over £4,000 to cap a spring. Mekonnan and his friends say that they will provide the labour and will collect some stones locally for construction. Action Ethiopia, with your help, can supply skills, the sand and the cement to get this done. Our strapline is creating powerful partnerships. It'll take Mekonnan and his friends, Action Ethiopia, and you to make this happen. It's just a few clicks from this page. I hope you'll join me. Thank you.